Welcome to the audio check here in Las Cruces. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you as the Hobbs JV taking on Las Cruces JV 31 to 28. The Las Cruces Bulldogs leading by 3 after a made free throw. So pretty close ball game. Hobbs down by 20 to 9 earlier in this game, but come back here in the fourth. Get close to tying this thing up. Second free throw is off the front of the rim, and it'll be a rebound for the Eagles. 20 seconds left here in the game, and looks like a timeout. We'll keep it here, make sure you can see the end of this one, but we're doing a sound check here right now. We do have a varsity game coming up here, probably about 15 or so minutes with the warm-ups before that, and we'll have a pregame show as well. Hobbs taking on Las Cruces High. Eagles winning their last game at the Metro Tournament in Albuquerque, beating Santa Fe, so 8-7 record. And Las Cruces High kind of down this year compared to what they were last year. They lost quite a few seniors, including the coach's son, Benjamin. So he's gone to the Division I ranks. So they are just above 500 by one win so far, 7-6. So this should be a pretty tight ball game. Both teams have some talent, but trying to rebuild after losing a handful of seniors just like the Hobbs Eagles did. Let me turn over to Ron, get him a sound check here as well.
Sound check. This is Ron, just coming from Las Cruces. Live, where the action is still on the JV game. Also let you know that Las Cruces Hobbs, they've been going at this since 1958, and Hobbs has the lead on it so far, 33-21 overall. Of course, here lately, Las Cruces has been winning more games than Hobbs has. This will be a close one, of course, as we are at the Bulldawgs bull pit. But we are going to find out who's going to win tonight, of course, as I am the color commentary, and, of course, your man, the myth, the legend himself, Ty Friend. He is the voice of the Eagles. We'll bring you all of the action here, starting here pretty soon, right after the JV game, only on Cool 95.7, of course, also on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
We're going to keep it right here as the Hobbs Eagles get inbound in front of their bench on the left wing. Comes up top of the circle, swing it to the left side with 16-15, down by 3. Spin move, top of the circle, pass to the right side. Don't have a roster, sorry about that. Driving to the left side of the lane, back door to the right base, shot on the way, and good. But Hobbs still down by 1 with 4.3. The clock is running, and they're going to try to get on the baseline with it for Las Cruces, and no steal on the play. That will run out the clock. And a 1-point win for Las Cruces. Kind of wonder about that inbounds. One of the kids stepped over the line and then handed it to the other one. He went out of bounds to throw it in, so I'm not sure why that wasn't a violation. It should have been. Hobbs should have had it on the baseline for a last shot there, but official must have looked the other way or something. But anyway, Bulldogs win the JV 31-30. We're going to take a few-minute break here, and we'll get the pregame show started. I think they'll probably put up about 15 minutes or so for the warm-up. So we're here in Las Cruces, Hobbs versus Las Cruces High. One of many road games for the Hobbs Eagles this week. Unbelievable. Last week, of course, the 4 games at the APS Metro Tournament. And this week, they've got Las Cruces tonight, Los Lunas on Friday, and then Rio Rancho on Saturday. So they will stay up there, obviously, for the Friday-Saturday matchups. That is an afternoon affair on Saturday, by the way, not a night game, but it will be 7 o'clock Friday for Los Lunas. They do have 15 minutes. We're going to take a quick break, come back with a pregame show, Hobbs versus Las Cruces High. Stay with us on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and, of course, coming up on the radio quickly, Cool 95.7.
Stream audio is good. Do you know about what time y'all guys want to go?
No, I don't yet. He's going down to get the roster, so that'll be a couple minutes. So uh, probably about 6 minutes from now, but that's an estimate.
Okay.
Where are we at here, Tiff?
There's 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this soccer.
Yeah, can we fade that out here in about a minute or so? Would that be okay?
Yeah, let me throw the intro in.
Don't throw it. Just be nice with it.
I will try. Your stream volume is still on.
What's that? Oh, sorry. Welcome live to Las Cruces. It's time for Hobbs Eagle basketball here on Cool 95.7 and on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you tonight. Hobbs Eagles, a.k.a. the Road Warriors. Another road game here for you tonight. They were at the APS Metro Tournament last week with 4 games. They went 2-2 there. And, of course, tonight, Las Cruces. Friday night, they'll be in Los Lunas. And Saturday in Rio Rancho to take on Cleveland. So, Ron, it's going to be a lot of road games. Kids are going to have to get their legs off the bus and be ready to play some basketball. Tonight, of course, about a 5.5-hour trip for them on the bus, getting down here to Las Cruces. And then a few days off, and then head back up north towards the Albuquerque zone there. But Eagles getting those 2 wins and finishing up the Santa Fe W there to knock off the Demons. That was a kind of a close one towards the end, but did get the win to put it in the books at 69-62 to get above 500 at 8-7. So definitely a good way to end the tournament. If you take a look at the numbers at the tourney, Michael Mackey averaged 31.2 points in 4 games. Definitely doing some great stuff. 23, 43, 31, and 28. He was also great on the free throw line, 36 of 44 for 81% on the line. So definitely doing some good things. On average, 7.5 rebounds a game. He was a leading rebounder in about 3 of the 4 games in that tournament. And just rising above the level of the state, kind of getting his name out there in the headlines a little bit. Kind of hard sometimes with the Southeast New Mexico to get that name out when you got all these Albuquerque schools sitting at their own tournament. Of course, Hobbs, the only team outside of Albuquerque or Santa Fe that was invited to that tourney. And a pretty decent 2-2 record. They could have probably had a win in one of the other games as well, but still coming back with an 8-7 record.
Yeah, I thought they did really well considering how they were shorthanded. They were, fighting the injury bug, some other things as well going on throughout this season so far. But they have improved on their scoring, and Mackey is definitely the main reason why he is leading in pretty much every category: rebounds, assists, scores, as well as steals. That's right. So he is not only taking it to the defense, he's also making it or getting it done on the offense as well. And we're of course going to see a couple others. Triviantes is back after his couple of days off from his injury. Hopefully he'll be doing well. Maybe he won't be playing as much as we'd like him to see, but I would definitely expect once he's on the floor to make the most of it.
Yeah, he told us he was getting sick of videoing the games up here next to us. We almost hired him for our radio station to help us out with the video. He does a good job with that, but he's a basketball player, and he wanted to get down on the floor. So he was got a mouth injury, and they were going to possibly give him a mask to wear, but it's there's so many different kinds of masks, and they're very hard to play with. So he sat out the tournament. He will be hopefully playing this game, but he is warming up tonight. So good to see him back. Other scores at the APS Metro tournament this past week in double digits, Abraham Pena, he averaged 11.2 a game. 3 of those were double digits, 14, 16, and 11. He was 6 of 11 from the free throw line, averaging 2.5 rebounds and 4 trays, the same as Mackey got, by the way. He had 4 trays at the tournament as well. So he had one game, kind of lower point production with 4. But, again, we're talking some young kids on this team, and Pena being one of those, the sophomores. But he definitely is a kid that's an up-and-comer. He's got a lot more seasons left with the Eagles. And to be second leading scorer at a very prestigious tournament with the top teams in the state, you got to give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, plus the maturity he has for the shot selection that he has. He is doing well. He doesn't just put up a three-point shot without thinking about it first, and he definitely has a good range as far as the his three-point range. But yes, he can also drive the lane as well. He doesn't do it as much, but still, when he needs some offensive scores, he can definitely get that done.
And a kid younger than him, the freshman Braylon Vega, again, his first big tournament besides the Hobbs Holiday Tournament the week before. He averaged 7.5 points a game and had 2 double-digit scorings of 14 and 12. He went 3 of 4 from the line, 75%, hit 3 trays, and averaging 2.5 rebounds a game. So nice to see him. It wasn't in double digits for the average, but again, this is his first big tournament outside of Hobbs. So another guy that you're going to look forward to in the future. Nobody else really getting close to the double-digit averages in the tournament this time around in Albuquerque. But some guys getting some good playing time. Chisholm, of course. Hodge really reasserting himself after being out for a while at the Artesia tourney. He averaged 6 points a game and 3.2 rebounds, had a couple of trays and some opportunities there. So we're going to be just seeing a bunch of these guys stepping up as the weeks come along. As you mentioned, too, injuries have been kind of an issue. So hopefully get everybody on the same page and on the same court, I should say,
right.
And be able to get another victory with everybody working at full cylinder. So anyway, Eagles 2-2 at the APS Metro tournament. Their opponent tonight, the Las Cruces Bulldawgs, last year 31-1 record. They went to the state championship game and they lost to Volcano Vista. Of course, Coach Benjamin's been around here a few years, former college basketball player. His son played for him last year, his last year as a senior. They lost in that championship to Volcano Vista 66-55. William Benjamin averaged 25 points last year, and he was also one of the best in terms of the assists, 6.9 a game as a big man, and he was a good scorer too. But to lead in assists and score 25 a game, that's pretty impressive. Isaiah Carr, he graduated. He had 18 points a game last year, 10.7 rebounds. And then the Self kid, Caden Self, averaging 11 a game. So those three are not there. They were a big part of the scoring last year against the Eagles. Hobbs losing the game at home at Task Arena. Only one contest between the two, 70-55. In that ball game, both teams were not doing well at the three-point arc. Hobbs was 3 of 16, and Las Cruces 3 of 15, so both at 20 and 19% respectively. So those numbers weren't perfect. Eagles had a few more turnovers in the game, 14 compared to 9, but they did out-rebound Las Cruces 35-33, although they did lose by 15 in that game. So they only played once last year. What's the series between these two teams over the history?
This team goes back to 1958, and they are 33-21 for the series. Hobbs leading it. The last time that Hobbs won here was back to 2015-2016, where Hobbs won 79-64. Of course, that was here in Las Cruces.
Should mention there has been one team that both Hobbs and Las Cruces have played this year, and that's a team we saw at the APS Metro, Del Norte. Las Cruces actually lost to them on December 9, 64-57. The Eagles defeated Del Norte, of course, at the tournament last week, 85-68, so a 17-point win. Michael Mackey in that game, 43 points. Why am I bringing this up besides being a common opponent? Well, that Dumas Sanchez kid that scored 60 in one of their games at the tournament, he had 36 against the Eagles in the game that the Eagles beat them, but he also had 36 against Las Cruces, so just kind of a neat comparison. He scored the exact same amount against both teams.
Yeah, they both had the same struggles, although not sure exactly when it happened for Las Cruces, but we all know that he lit it up in the fourth quarter. Otherwise, it would have been about 25 points is what he would have ended up with. But he was catching his shots and making them look easy as well.
Max Preps Bowl has the Eagles at 13th, 8-7 record, 14.6 strength of schedule. Las Cruces at number 15 with a 7-6 record. Their strength of schedule is 11.7. So Hobbs showing some stuff. They've played a lot of tough teams, especially at the APS tournament. Although Las Cruces has played number 1 Volcano Vista and lost by 18 or 28 in that one. Los Lunas, the number 5 team in the state, lost by 16. And to La Cueva, losing by 19. We're going to take a break here. National Anthem getting ready in Las Cruces. We will come back live with Hobbs Eagle Hoops on Colt 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube in 90 seconds. Welcome back to Las Cruces High. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, Tiffany Stuber with you tonight as your Hobbs Eagles take on Las Cruces High. The Eagles on the first game of their 3-game road trip, and Las Cruces at home, of course. Teams played last year 70-55 in favor of Las Cruces. Michael Mackey with 5 points in that ball game. He also finished with a total of 3 rebounds, 2 assists in the game as well. He was one of the top scorers for the team. Aaron Moore led with 18 in that game, and Jalen Gore with 13. On the other side of the coin, a lot of the seniors gone from this Las Cruces squad. Wes Benjamin had 31 in that contest for Las Cruces. Caden Self, 17, and Isaiah Carr with 12. So those 3 guys right there combined for 60 of the 70 points. Just 10 left over for the rest of their team. All 3 of those guys were graduating seniors, so that is a bright spot, at least for the Eagles, in terms of not have to worry about some of them on the court. Your Eagles starters tonight, Michael Mackey averaging 22.3 a game. He's first in rebounds at 5.6, first in assists 2.7, and first in steals at 2.7. Braylon Vega, the freshman, he's averaging 2.7 a game, and his best stat is rebounding at close to 2 a contest. Abraham Pena, he's second leading scorer at 14.3 a game, and rebounding at 2.5 a contest. We got Archibek starting tonight. Chris Archibek, the senior, got some size for the Eagles and likes to put some screens on some people as well. He's averaging 2.4 points a game and rebounding at 2.7 a click. And last but not least for the Hobbs Eagles is going to be Brian Acosta. And Acosta currently is averaging 3.1 a game. And also his best stat other than that is 2 rebounds a contest for the Eagles. Hobbs is averaging 8 steals a game. Turnovers 18, so got to work on that just a bit. And free throws at 63%. Looks like Michael Mackey is going to be jumping for Eagles in this one. And for Las Cruces, their big kid is going to be Caleb Carr as he comes out of the court. They're wearing their white uniforms, blue numbers, and red trim. Hobbs wearing black road uniforms, white numbers, and gold trim. So Carr will step up in the circle. Also starting will be Thomas Hanley, number 13, Suj Valyez, and Izzy Navarez. The tip into the backcourt, and they're going to call this one back. I guess the ball wasn't ready to go there. The referee on the sideline from the scores table wasn't ready, so they called that one back. Other starter, David Cruz. So Cruz, Valyez, Hanley, Navarez, and Carr. Mackey gets the big jump over the big kid and into the backcourt for the Eagles on their first possession, as it'll be in the hands of the squad. Vega on the left wing, hands it off up top. Kicks it to the left side to Acosta. Swing it back to the right to Pena. Pena backs into his defender. Cross court left to Vega. Top of the circle against a 2-3 zone. Vega on the left wing. Spins, gives it back behind him to Pena left side. Cross court right to Mackey. Just underway here in Las Cruces, your Eagles and the Bulldogs. On the right wing in front of the Las Cruces bench. He finds Vega on the left wing. Fadeaway 3, in and out, no good. And it is pulled down for the big kid, Las Cruces, and Carr, his first rebound. Gets it across the court to his point guard. On the left wing, that's Navarez going backdoor, and a quick shot from the right block, putting it through his Valyez for his first bucket of the ball game. 2-0 Las Cruces here, 7:10 remaining in the first quarter. Pass to Pena on the far side, gets it across, but overthrows teammate there. That was a tenner for Acosta, ripped away by Valyez for the Eagles' first turnover. Into the front court comes Valyez on the free throw line. Down low to left block to Carr. He goes up with a double hand dunk on the left side of the rim. And now a 4-0 lead, and Coach Reeves ain't going to waste any time getting a timeout. Coach Sorias yelling at his team to get themselves fired up and get on a man. 6:56 remaining here in the first. Las Cruces 4, your Hobbs Eagles nothing. We'll be back in 30 seconds after the Hobbs Eagle timeout. Back after a quick timeout for your Eagles. 4-0 Las Cruces, coming off a dunk by Caleb Carr, and Suj Valyez with the bucket as well. A turnover for the Eagles. Coach Reeves not wasting any time to talk to the troops and make sure they're on the right page here. Inbound comes back in the far sideline, a 1-2-1-1 trap. Throws it across middle of the court to Pena. Pena goes back door underneath the hoop. Acosta hands off to Mackey in the lane. Dumps it up top. 3 on the way for Vega off the front of the rim. No good underneath the hoop for the board is Carr. That's his second rebound. Gets it off to his guard, Navarez in the backcourt. Crossover move as he takes on Pena to the right side of the arc. Unloads the ball to Cruz right side. To Carr on the right elbow with the pivot. Kick it left to Valles outside the perimeter. Sends it to the left wing to Navarez. Back up top to Hanley. Drives with his right hand down the lane. Jump stop. Dish out right corner to Valles. Fakes it 3. Instead returns it left wing to Navarez. Out on D is Pena now right in his shorts. He finds Hanley at the top of the arc and hands it off to Valles on the left side. Dump it to the left wing to Navarez. Posting up big down low as Carr overthrows him though. Chased down in the right corner by Valles to pick it up for Las Cruces. Pickpocket there for the Eagles. And getting a hand on it near sideline right as Acosta, but it goes out of bounds. Tried to flick it back on that side of the court and could not able to bring it in before touching the blue with his foot. It will be Valles to inbound for Las Cruces. Back deep to the timeline of Navarez. Stop and go dribble. Backs in. Spins on Pena. Finds Hanley on the right elbow of the free throw line. Dump it to the right side of Valles. To Carr, right wing. Swing it up top to Navarez. Top of the circle again to Cruz. Dump it in the paint. Wide open Hanley. Spins left with a hook shot off the glass and scores. Hanley off the left side of the rim. His first bucket. 6-0 Las Cruces. 5:40 left first quarter. Inbound on the near side to Pena. Returns deep to Mackey. Getting a double team trap. Over the left side to Pena. He gets trapped as well. Throws it across to the left wing to Chris Archibek. Drives the paint left side. High off the glass and scores. First bucket of the game for Chris Archibek. And Archibek at the Metro tournament had 10 points in the third game. 6-2. As coming across the timeline after the pass is Valles. Back to the timeline. He throws to Navarez. Jab step taking on Vega. Stop and go to the top of the arc. Puts on the brakes. Sends it down to the right corner. Wide open for a tray as Valles off the back of the rim. No good. Chased down to the left baseline by Carr. His third rebound. And sends it back to reset to Navarez. Navarez with a lefty dribble around the perimeter. Throws it up top to Hanley. Chested up quickly by Acosta. Goes to the left side of the rim. Hanley going to the rack with it. Is bodied up and fouled. Gets knocked to the baseline. Ball comes off underneath the iron. But it will be a foul on the Eagles. And a chance for 2 free throws to start the game here for Las Cruces. And I believe they called that one on Brian Acosta. Yes, that is his first team foul. Put on the line, Thomas Hanley.
Got an update for the girls, Lovington girls, as they are playing Carlsbad. It's halftime right now. Carlsbad leads 29-13.
First free throw off the back of the rim, no good for Hanley. And already some subs coming in from the Eagles. First of all, Peyton Hodge checks on. See if anybody else knew. Yep, another player for the Eagles, Caden Hall. And coming on for Las Cruces is Joe Koenig, just like the coffee machine. For second free throws up and swish, count it for Hanley. He's 3 points in the books for Las Cruces, leading his team in a 5-point Las Cruces lead. Biggest has been 6 in this game. They scored the first 3 buckets. Hobbs down by 5 now. 4:50 left first quarter, 7-2. Inbound coming into Vega, comes across the timeline, gives over to Pena right side. To the right corner to Archibek. Returns on the right wing. Pena up top to Hodge. Driving the lane. Hippity hop. Goes through 4 defenders. Reverse layup right side off the front of the rim though. Hall gets a rebound in the left block. Looking for help and returns back deep to set up to Pena. Top of the circle. Comes right. Wants a clear out in front of the Las Cruces bench. Crossover move. Sends it up top. Waiting for it's Archibek. Dribbles behind his back. Hand off to Hodge on the left wing. To the free throw line off the dribble. Goes up with a runner shot down the lane off the back of the iron. Ball tipped around and pulled down in transition by Navarez. Sends it ahead to a breaking Cruz and lays it in with his right hand. Hall tried to swat it but couldn't get it to stay out of the rim that time. 9-2, biggest lead for Las Cruces is 7 here in the first quarter. Pena's pass at half court, picked away as Hodge tried to get up with it. His second turnover all the way to the hoop for the layup is Cisneros for his first bucket. The second Eagle turnover, 11-2. Hobbs with their biggest deficit at 9. 3:50 left, opening quarter. Pena gets a double team near side backcourt. Throws it across to Vega. Down the lane, double clutch is rejected from behind by Koenig. And the ball sails out to the near sideline left. About where you would see the Hobbs Eagles student section there at Tasker Arena. Actually going to put it down in the left corner. Hobbs will inbound outside the left perimeter. 3:45 remaining in the first. Inbound to Hodge, left wing. Back deep to Mackey. Mackey dribbles around the right circle, waiting for a screen and applied by Chisholm, who just checked in, to Hodge on the left wing. Jab step, kicks it back to Mackey, spots up an NBA 3 from the right wing, and nothing but net on that one. He goes up over the top of Navarez, so Mackey with his first bucket of the game. It's now 11-5, Hobbs down by 6. Ball to Cruz on the near side. Cross court left to Valles to the timeline. Stripped there by the Eagles. Vega, first Las Cruces turnover. To Mackey at the top of the circle. Fires a three off the back of the rim. No good. Chased down in the left corner by David Cruz of the Bulldogs. His first rebound. Bounce pass across the timeline to Cisneros. Picks it up. Dish off right corner to Cone. And we got a reach foul called on Hodge. So Hodge will get his first personal. And that'll be the second team foul. Do you like the pace so far, Ron?
No, it's favoring the Las Cruces Bulldogs, and definitely Hobbs needs to get back into control if they want any chance to get into this game.
Yeah, they're going to start posting him up pretty big here. That big kid actually is off the court, though. Caleb Carr, he did get a double-hand dunk a few minutes ago. Inbound top of the circle, backing up is Navarez. Sliding with him to the far left is Vega. Hodge is going to switch on that one. Now he's going to chest him up. Driving the lane is Navarez. Tries up, go underneath the reverse layup, and over the top of his head from behind there. Throws it on the glass right side to score. So Navarez getting his first bucket of the game. 13-5. 8-point lead for Las Cruces. Hodge will get a pass in the front court. Back door to Hall on the left block. Goes up strong. Ball rolling around the rim and kind of stayed in kind of a cylinder there for a few seconds and drops through for Hall. That's his first bucket. Eagles have 3 scores so far and 6 for Las Cruces. It's 13-7. Half-court pass complete to Cisneros. Crossover for Navarez to come get it at the timeline. He's guarded by Hall. Dribbles left, stop and go. Jump stop, kick out left wing to Valles. Hall will pick him up in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, left wing. Zigzags around, gives it off left side to Navarez. Top of the circle off the dribble as he's guarded by Chisholm. Bounce pass to the left wing to Cone. To the top of the arc to Koenig. To the left wing again to Cisneros. Fadeaway three out the back of the rim. Chased down by Hodge in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench on the far right side. Hodge's first rebound. Goes it across the Tomlin to Mackey, left wing. NBA three on the way, and there's the threads on the other side of the court. Count it for Mackey. 2 trays for him, 6 points to lead the Eagles, and just a 3-point deficit. On the far sideline, Valles trying to drive up in front of the scores table left, and Hodge looks like putting a hip into him. And looks like for Hodge, that's going to be his second personal already, with 1:45 left in the second and the third team foul. We got to do a better job of getting in a spot defensively, not letting a guy get by you and then try to put a hip on it.
Exactly. That's one of the problems you have when you have somebody run by you. You just can't foul him, but that's usually all you have left.
Inbound deep to the backcourt for Las Cruces to David Cruz going against Hall. Stop and go, top of the circle. Jump stop at the right elbow. Gives it to Carr, the big man on the left elbow who just checked in. His pass deflected up top to Hanley. Kicks it left wing to Cisneros. Backs out against Vega. To the right side to Valles. Over the right wing again. Completed to Hanley. Up top, wide open Cruz. NBA three. Swishes it. Cruz left wide open, and he's got 5 points. And Coach Benjamin calls a quick timeout for the Las Cruces Bulldogs. Extends the lead 16-10 over Hobbs. 1:19 remaining in the first quarter. We're going to come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. First quarter action here in Las Cruces. Ty Fred, Ron Gunner, and Tiffany Stuber with you. Hobbs Eagles trailing Las Cruces high 16-10. Mackey leading with 6 points, 2 apiece for Archibald and Hall. And for Las Cruces, the leader is Cruz with 5, 3 for Hadley, and 2 apiece for Valles, Cisneros, and Navarros and Carr. A lot of guys scoring for Las Cruces so far. Mackey gets a half-court pass, throws it across to Vega, left elbow with the pivot. Back to Mackey, top of the circle. Pop a shot just inside the line, off the top of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Carr, the big kid. He's got 4 rebounds. Outlet to the near sideline to Valles. Crossover move as he takes on Hall through the timeline. Spin at the top of the circle. To the right wing. Stop and a pass is behind his teammate Hanley. Lost the ball. They're going to call Mackey for a reach from behind there. Mackey saying he got hooked before that. Called on Mackey, though, his first 14 foul, 4-0 foul count right now against the Eagles. They'll have it on the far left sideline in front of the Eagle bench. Will Las Cruces. Suge Valles to inbound. And Caden Hall to try to swat the ball from coming in. Chucks it back deep, having to jump for it high in the air was Cruz. He'll come up against the defense of Pena. Crossover through his legs, right wing, jump stop. Over to left elbow to Hanley. Fakes a shot. Jumps down the lane, gives it to Carr, top of the circle. Swing it right side to Cruz. Over to left wing on the cross to Cisneros. And returns to the right wing to Cruz. Top of the circle, coming back for to Cisneros. To the righty dribble down the lane. Reverse layup, right side, air ball. Put back on the left glass by Carr. Can't get it to drop. That was his 5th rebound. Coming off the rim, Mackey on the far sideline with his first board. Throws it back door to Pena, going sky high with the lefty, and lays it off the glass. And boy, slapping the backboard was Carr. Might have been teed up for that one. Should have, I think. Pena's first bucket, though. 16-12, and boy, Caden Hall playing the one-man wrecking crew defense. Almost got a steal. The ball gets released across the timeline, though, to Cruz for Las Cruces. Throws it up top to Cisneros. Handoff behind to Cruz. Guarded by Mackey now. And that will end the first quarter. The clock runs out. Got me off guard as well. So Las Cruces lost track of the time as I did, and they only lead by 4 at the end of one, 16-12 over your Hobbs Eagles. We'll take a 60-second break and come back with more Hobbs Eagle Hoops on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Back live with Hobbs Eagle basketball. Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Eagles trail Las Cruces as we start the second quarter, 16-12. Mackey was 6, 2 apiece for Pena, Archibek, and Hall. For Las Cruces, their leader 5 for David Cruz, 3 for Hanley, 2 apiece for Valles, Cisneros, Navarez, and Carr. Eagles out-rebounded 7-3 in the first quarter. They had 1 tray. 2 trays for Hobbs, 1 for Las Cruces. A tray shot for Cruz on the right wing, no good, but rebounded on by Hanley on the right sideline. He'll reset back deep to Cruz on the near side. Dribbles at the top of the arc, stop and go. Sends it back to the right wing to Hanley. Posting up Carr, turns and fires from the right block. He scores again off the glass, using a big frame down there. He's got 4 points. 18-12, back up by 6 for Las Cruces. Their biggest lead was 9 in the first quarter. Mackey gets stripped near the half-court line with a double team. It's ripped away by Navarez. He goes to the rack but misses the lefty layup. That was the 3rd turnover for the Eagles. Rebound for Pena in transition. Pena's going to give it off right corner for Vega for a fadeaway 3 and nails it. Braylon Vega with his first bucket, the 3rd tray of the game for Hobbs. They trail by 3, 18-15. 7:05 remaining second quarter. Beating the pressure in the front court. Valles to the left baseline. Lefty layup and scores. Got up underneath Hall and Pena that time. So he'll get the 2 points in the books there for Valles. That's his 4th. 20-15. Pass across the timeline to the right wing front court to Chisholm. Slings it over to Mackey in the left wing. 15-footer on the way and put it through the threads again. Mackey is on fire. He's got 8 points. 2 buckets out of the 3 were trays. 20-17, 3-point lead for Las Cruces. I knew this game was going to be close. You did too, Ron.
Oh, exactly, and I expect nothing less from that.
Both teams are hovering around the 500 mark. Both are +1 right now. 8-7 for the Eagles, 7-6 for Las Cruces. In the front court, pass to Cruz for 3 on the right side, and he puts it through the net over the outstretched hand of Caden Hall. 2 trays now for Cruz, and that will be the 2nd tray for Las Cruces. He has both of them. 6 points for him. Make that 8 for Cruz. In the front court, Mackey, jump stop as he catches the pass up top from Hall. Waiting for a screen, doesn't take it. Instead gives to Vega left wing, up top to Mackey on a 2-3 zone. Over the right side to Pena. Pena gives it into Archibek, gets it back from the right corner, throws up a 3 off the back of the rim, and Carr rebounds for his 6th time. Gives it off to the guard and taking some time looking back at Coach Benjamin on the sideline left was Navarez. Now in the front court, dribbling through his legs against Pena. He spins to the top of the arc. Off to the right elbow to Hanley. Fadeaway jumper off the back of the iron. Chased down in the right corner by Pena. He's going to send it ahead after his 2nd rebound to Mackey. 1-2 and up on the reverse layup. Right to left down the lane and scores. Great combination there from back near the baseline. Connecting with Mackey was Pena. 10 points for Mackey to lead both teams in double digits. Hobbs down by 4, 23-19. 5:20 left second quarter. They post up Carr again on the left block and a second dunk on the left side of the rim. He just goes up strong and uses the muscle to take it in. Carr now with 6 points, 2 of them dunks, 25-19. Hippity hop down the far side to Pena. Throws it to the timeline to Mackey. He'll bring it across as the defense backs off of him. Gives back to Pena on the right wing. Again to Mackey, top of the circle. He's going to slow it down. Slides right. Wants a clear out in front of the Las Cruces bench. Getting a screen from Hall. And we're going to call a carry on that one. The official right behind him on the scores table side, far right, with the turnover violation there. That'll be the fourth turnover for the Eagles, just one for Las Cruces. And again, the foul count is 4-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that is unfortunate to lose the ball with just no contact at all. It was a mental error, unforced, as they say, and unfortunately, Hobbs lost the ball.
Eagles come into this game averaging 18.5 turnovers a contest and a total of 8 steals. So there's a negative connotation there, but of course, they'll take the win any way they can get it. They dump it down to the right block to Cone from half court. Tries to go up between two defenders. There's a whistle. I guess they're going to say it went out of bounds. Hodge got a piece of it, but there was a lot of people in the area underneath the hoop that time. Archibek and Mackey as well. So clock will stop. 4:44 left here in the first half. Eagles down by 6, 25-19. Inbounding on the right baseline for the Bulldogs, Valuez. Bounce into the right block. Fumbling it is Koenig. Ripped away by Mackey. That'll be the Bulldogs' second turnover. Mackey comes over the right side, gives it off to Pena, fakes it 3, dribbles the right elbow, fires up a J anyway. It's ripped hard from behind on his elbow and fouled. The ball squirted up high in the air. Nowhere close to the rim, but because of the foul. So they'll charge that to Las Cruces. That is their first foul here in the first half. And that one will be going against Izzy Navarez, his first.
That was a desperation foul right there. Didn't look like it was going to make it. However, it will be 2 for Hobbs.
Pena's first free throw's up and good. He is 64% this season on the line, and the team itself coming into this game at 63%. Shot at the Metro tournament, 73%, 60 of 82. Their opponents, 120 free throw attempts, again compared to 82 for the Eagles. Big differential there up in the Duke City. Second shot is up and good. Pena getting both of them. He now has 4 points, and we got a whistle in the backcourt. Looks like a marker got on the court. I don't know what the heck. A fan was walking up on the side. Oh, it was the band director for Las Cruces High. As he lost it on the court, rolled in a few inches there, so they stopped action. Inbound to the backcourt for Las Cruces after the delay. That's Navarez taking on Pena with the spin move. Gets a screen left side by Koenig. Drives the right side of the lane. Reverse layup is swatted from behind. Nice touch by Acosta. Ball loose underneath. Now we got a rebounding foul called. They're pointing at the baseline. That means it's going to go against the Eagles, unfortunately. Somebody was pushing in the back that time. That will be the 5th foul on the Eagles as they charge that one to Mackey, his second. So Mackey and Hodge both with 2 apiece. Baseline inbound coming from Navarro's left side. Goes back door to the left block. Spin, fadeaway jumper from the left block from Cone, and it drops through somehow. Hits the top of the cylinder and rolls in. That's the first bucket by Cone. 7 players have scored already for Las Cruces here in the first half. 4:11 remaining. A bad pass deflected. Hodge picks it up in the paint at the other end. Goes back door, going up strong, pushing it to the hole. It's Chris Archibek. Had to use his shoulder on that one to push it through. He's got 4 points. 27-23. Cruces by 4. Just under 4 minutes left, second quarter. On the far sideline, dribbling through his legs, is Navarez, top of the circle. Continues his dribble to the right side, dish off to Cruz, 3 on the way, and swishes it. That's his 3rd tray of the contest. 11 points for Cruz to lead the Bulldogs, and the 3rd three-pointer of the game, all because of Cruz. 30-23. Pena goes back door to Hall, comes down with it, turns and fires a point-blank shot from the right block, hits the back of the rim, but there's a foul call, and Caden Hall will get 2 free throws. So Hall watching from half court, he was under the hoop, watching back to half court to wait for that pass, and did make a good connect there. Almost had it to drop 2 through the rim. They'll call the foul back-to-back against Navarez, his second, and second on the Bulldogs. First shot for Hall's up and good, and Hall came into this contest shooting 71% on the season. And at the Albuquerque tournament, he was 3 of 4 for 75%. 3:36 left, first half, 30-24. Eagles down by 6. Second shot for Hall's good as well. Kind of a fadeaway on that one. So Hall gets them both. He's got 4 points. Eagles now have 5 scorers at this point, and really doing a decent job on 3-pointers. They've got 3 so far.
Yeah, they are. They're picking their shots and choosing them wisely.
Same time, though, Cruz for Las Cruces has hit 3 of the 3 3-pointers for the Bulldogs. So he's definitely stroking it as well. In the front court, kind of limping a little bit. Navarez dribbles right, unloads to Cruz. He wants to fire another 3, and there he goes again. That same right wing, kind of towards the top. And he's converted 3 in this quarter, second quarter, 1 in the first quarter for 4 total. And we got a whistle here. I think we got an injury leaving the court as Navarez. So Cruz is really starting to light him up here. That's 4 trays for him. He's got a total now of 14 points to lead both teams. Again, all 4 of Las Cruces' threes. Coming across the timeline, Pena. Correction, that was Abraham. Yeah, it was Pena, excuse me. Let's bring it back to Hobbs on the left wing. Drives the lane. Dumps it to the left baseline. Turbiatis, who just checked in, does a little spin move. Kicks back left to Pena. NBA 3 off the side of the rim, no good. And swatted by Las Cruces near the left baseline off the hands of Cone. Hobbs should get it on the left base underneath their hoop, trailing by 8. Nice to see Turbiatis back out there with the size that he's got and likes to jump, too.
He does, and he was very antsy to get back into the action.
The alley-oop to Hall comes down with it right block. Dish out right corner to Vega. Fires up a 3 on 2 defenders and gets through them and throws it in for 3. Vega now with 2 trays. That is the 4th tray of the game for the Eagles, who now trail by 5. 2:48 left in the second, 33-28. Jumping to the free throw line, Valles in the front court. Dish off right elbow to Hanley. Tries to go underneath with it to Cisneros. The ball's loose. Kicked out to the right wing to Cruz. 3 on the way, off the back of the rim this time. Rebound in the middle of the paint by Hanley. Tries to go back up and then throws it back door in the lane to Koenig. He goes up with 2 hands on the right glass and puts it through his first bucket. 35-28. Eagles down by 7. Pena on the far side, double team against him. Pivot, uses up his dribble. Throws a helium ball across the timeline right in the hands of Cisneros for the 5th turnover. Las Cruces basketball. Hand off to Valles. Now in the front court against Hodge. Stop and go. 2:12 left. Falls to the floor. Gets back up. And unloads to Hanley on the right wing. Spin move, lost it on the near sideline. Getting a piece of it was Vega. Picks it back up to Hanley, drives the lane. I believe they called the double dribble that time. He dribbled, got it stolen, got it back, fumbled around a little bit, either a travel or a dribble or a double dribble there, but still turnover nonetheless for Las Cruces, the 3rd for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just some bad shuffling right there for the Las Cruces Bulldog.
Inbound to Hodge at the timeline. Hard dribble across as he comes to the right wing in front of the Las Cruces bench. Slings it up top to Mackey. Back to Hodge on the right wing, spotting up a tray with no D on him off the back of the rim, but tipped back up over the front of the iron in the paint by Vega on the rebound. Got pushed from behind. Ball came off the iron, but he'll get 2 free throws. So he'll get a chance to head into the line. He's yet to shoot some free throws tonight, but has 2 trays to his name. They call the foul on Valles, his first, 3rd team foul. And for Vega on the season is 45% from the charity stripe. We'll definitely like to improve on those numbers, and does so with the swish on the first shot.
Vega showing some improvement as far as being in the paint. You know, I said he could drive it, but also can get those rebounds and shoot it back as well.
First free throw, a swish. He's got 7 points all in the second quarter. Misses off the back of the rim, no good on number 2, but rebounding underneath his car. He just has to stand flat-footed to reach up for that one. Throws it ahead to a breaking layup artist there. Cruz gets swatted from behind. I think looks like Turbiatis got a piece of it, and it knocks off a Bulldog. Hobbs basketball. 1:45 left here in the second. Hodge to get the inbound far side. Throws it across. It's behind Vega. Taken away by Las Cruces. 6th Eagle turnover in the hands of Cruz. Now in the front court. Taking on Mackey. Up by 6 over the Eagles. Cross over to the left side. Spins, top of the arc. Uses up the dribble and finds Valles on the left wing. Dump it down to the left corner. 3 on the way. Fade away. In and out for Cruz. He's better at that right wing instead of the corner. Ball gets knocked out by the Eagles off the hands. It looks like maybe Hodge got a piece of it down there. It will be Las Cruces basketball on the right baseline underneath their own hoop, up by 6. A lot of movement now. They finally get it into the left wing to Cruz in traffic. Dribbles back to the timeline to get away from Hodge, and Hodge is going to slide right with him. Jumps in the air, tries to throw it to Carr. It's deflected by Caden Hall, who gets run over at the half-court line. They call the foul on Las Cruces, so the steal underway for the Eagles. That was the 4th turnover for Las Cruces, and Hall gets a head-on-head collision on that one. It looks like the guy that got the worst of it, David Cruz, down right now, and he's holding looks like his nose or most of his face at that point. I think he got the foul as well. Yep, they do call it on Cruz, his first. 14th foul. Hall doing a great job of getting in the passing lane, taking a swat at the basketball, chasing it down at half court, and then got ran into like a train by Cruz, who's got to leave the court now with his face still intact, but hurting pretty badly.
No, it looks like he's staying on the court.
Usually with that much of a delay, they're going to take you off, but I guess they're going to give him a break on that one. Eagle basketball with 1:10 remaining in the second. Mackey gets it on the right wing in front of the Las Cruces bench. Gets a screen from Turbiatis. Up top to Vegas, swing it left corner to Pena. Spots up a tray. Beautiful follow through and some good air on that one as it came right through the center from a top. Count it for Pena. That's his first tray. He's got 7 points and the 5th three-point shot for the Eagles converted in the first half. A 3-point game in favor of Las Cruces. 48 seconds left in the quarter. To the top of the arc, in front court to Hanley. Guarded by Hall. Gives off to Carr on the right elbow. Pivoting. Turbiatis right in his face. Unloads to the right side to Cruz. Up top to Cisneros. Right behind him in the left wing to Hanley. Drives the lane. 34 seconds left. Spins right, left. Lost the basketball. Rolls out to the Hobbs Eagle bench, and it's going to go back to the Eagles. Good job of Turbiata setting up solid in the paint. Kind of messed up the pass down the lane that time. Tried to dive for it on the floor. That kid putting his body on the line. He has that mouth injury, too, to have to deal with.
Yeah, I almost thought that Hobbs might have been able to get that, but luckily not able to touch it, and it goes out of bounds.
Fifth turnover for Las Cruces with 25 seconds remaining in the quarter. Here in the second, Mackey in the front court. Over to left wing to Pena. Juggled it for a second, able to recover. Returns deep to Vega at the timeline to Mackey on the right wing with 15 seconds. A 3-point deficit. Gets a screen from Hall, but Hall throws the knee out on that right perimeter and gets the screen foul. So Hall's picked up his first personal 16th foul. Goes down as a 7th turnover for the Eagles. So they have to play some defense here with 13.8 left in the half and down by 3. Hobbs is going to wait for their opponents at the timeline. Mackey will pick up Valius, who has the basketball. Spins, comes across, spins left, right, top of the circle. Keeps throwing his head up in the air, falls to the floor. They're going to call Mackey. He was just sliding with him. A trip foul as the kid was kind of throwing his head up in the air. Mackey likes to do that head throwing a lot of times, too, to get the ref to bite on those calls. But that time they're going to say he tripped him, but looks like the kid just lost his balance and fell down. But that's the third on Mackey. Not a good sign there.
No, it isn't. Either way, even if it wasn't true, it's still Mackey's third. So he's going to watch it in the second half.
17th foul. That means a bonus for Valiez, who converts on the first. He's got 5 points. Las Cruces is now 2 of 3 from the charity stripe at 66%. And your Hobbs Eagles right now have a total of 5 of 6 from the line. Second free throw off the back of the rim, no good. Ball tipped around, pulled down underneath by Pena. That'll be his third. He's going to throw a three-quarter court shot that gets caught between the post behind the backboard and sticks right on top of the backboard. You can't get more lodged than that. It is stuck. They're going to have to get a ladder up to get that thing down.
Yeah, and he shot it well after the after the buzzer was done.
Yeah, so three-quarter court shot is going to stay solid as a souvenir for Las Cruces. I think that'll have a little bit of air out of that ball by the time you get it back in the third quarter. So we're going to go to halftime. Your Eagles still a close one here, down by 4 to Las Cruces, 36-32. We'll be back in 3 minutes on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to halftime here in Las Cruces. Ty Fred, Ron Gunner, and Tiffany Stuber with you as the Eagles trail Las Cruces high 36-32. Hobbs coming in with an 8-7 record. Las Cruces also above 500 by one game at 7-6. We mentioned in the pregame show, too, pretty close in the Max Preps Bowl with these two teams right now. The Eagles at number 13 and Las Cruces at number 15. Hobbs with a 14.6 strength of schedule against the teams they played so far, and Las Cruces at 11.7. So Hobbs with a tougher schedule up to this point, but both teams have had several top 10 opponents up to this point in time. Let's look at the numbers now as they bring the ladder in, actually. We talked about that last shot that Pena had from three-quarters court at the buzzer. Ball got lodged on top of the backboard, right between the support and the top of the backboard there. So it completely is no way to get that down except for a ladder. They're going to come out and take care of that here right now, and probably a souvenir. That ball is going to be deflated by the time they get it down. Let's look at the numbers on Las Cruces. They got one in double figures so far, David Cruz, and he's a guy they got to be careful besides the big kid. He's already had 4 trays and 14 points. All but one of those trays, I believe, is on that top right wing over here, and giving him too much of a cushion out there on defense. He's just sitting up and no hand in the face on a few of those. He continues to knock him down. He has got, looks like all four of the trays so far for Las Cruces in double digits at 14.
Yeah, the Hobbs Eagles are making it super easy for him as far as you're right. They're not contesting him at all. Hopefully they'll change that in the second half, be able to at least get a body on him, if not a hand in his face, to try to get him to at least get a challenge out of that, because as you said, he's making them all in the same range, and it should be no surprise in the second half he's going to try to do the same thing against Hobbs.
He did try to put one in from the left corner, and it bounced off the back of the rim, so his spot is that top right perimeter. Second scoring is Caleb Carr, 6 points for him. He's the big post player. He is standing at 6'6", so he definitely's got some size and bulk up top on the shoulders there. Leads the team with 7 rebounds. They continue to go down low to him. Doesn't always get a shot in the paint, but he likes to clean up the boards, though. They got to watch him with getting a butt into him on the rebounding side. The Bulldawgs also have Suj Valuez with 5 points, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Thomas Hanley has 3 points, 1 of 2 from the line with 2 rebounds, and a bunch of guys with 2, Cisneros, Cone, Navarez, and Koenig. So far, 8 players have scored in the first half for Las Cruces. They've converted on 4 3-pointers, all at the hands of Cruz. They are 2 of 4 for the charity stripe at 50%. They've out-rebounded the Eagles 11-7 in the first half, thanks to Carr with his 7 boards, and have not converted, but they've committed 5 turnovers in the first half, 2 less than the Hobbs Eagles. On the Eagles side of the coin, Michael Mackey. He's the top scorer with 10 points in double digits. He had 2 trays in the first quarter. He also has a rebound, but he does have foul trouble, Ron. 3 in the first half, and one of those is kind of tic-tac. Looks like the defender or the dribbler just kind of went over his toe, and then it fell forward a little bit. But I don't know if he was expecting the foul, but, kind of tight late in the second quarter. He might almost want to take him out of the ball game, but that was one you can't really fault him for. He wasn't doing much. He was sliding with his defender on the right side of the paint. Yeah,
there's not a whole lot you can do. You try to keep up with your defender or with your opponent, and, then you get called that ticky-tacky foul. It looked like he just lost his dribble there for a moment, went high on him, and he tried to adjust on that one. Looked like he did a little stutter step trip as well, so it could have actually been either a walk or something on the opponent, but instead, because of the angle, maybe it was Michael Mackey getting that foul call, and unfortunately that's what he's got to live with now, 3 of them right now in the second half.
And leads the team with 10, so that's definitely, you don't want to lose his 3-point shooting we've seen so far with 2 of those. A lot of guys stepping up, though, with other point production. Braylon Vega, the freshman, 7 points, as he got all 7 in the second quarter. He had 2 trays as well, just like Mackey did, and also added a free throw in that first half of action. He's got 7, as we mentioned, 1 rebound for Vega as well. Abraham Pena has 7 points, doing it the more conventional way. He did get a tray, but he went 2 for 3 from the line as well in the second quarter. Had a bucket in the first quarter as well, so he's got 7, tied with Vega for second leading scorer. And Pena, though, leading in rebounding right now for the Eagles. He's got 3, so definitely not the biggest kid out there, the sophomore, but he's definitely helping out on the glass. Chris Archibald, a couple of buckets so far for the Eagles with 4 points. And Caden Hall, he's got 1 bucket and 2 for 2 free throw shooting. So definitely good with 4 points there. Hobbs with 5 scores in the first half. And in terms of rebounding, we mentioned they're trailing by force, 11-7. Top rebounder Pena with 3. Hobbs has converted on 5 trays at this point and just 4 for Las Cruces. Again, that was Cruz doing all those. And Eagles with 2 more turnovers with 7 compared to 5 for the Bulldogs. Eagles currently shooting at the free throw line. They are 5 of 7 from the charity stripe in the 70s. We're going to take another break here, about a minute break. They got the halftime going pretty quickly. We'll come back as your Hobbs Eagles trail Las Cruces 36-32. You're listening live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Second half action getting ready to get underway here in Las Cruces as the Bulldogs hosting your Hobbs Eagles from Las Cruces High. Bulldogs 36, your Eagles 32. Both teams trying to get 2 games ahead of 500 on the season. Eagles at 8-7 and Las Cruces at 7-6. We will be on the road Friday night in Los Lunas, a 7 o'clock tip, 6:45 pregame, and an afternoon affair with Cleveland High School in Rio Rancho on Saturday. So Hobbs, the Road Warriors, the last couple of weeks, of course, 4 games in Albuquerque and a couple more coming up here after this one this week. Hobbs basketball to start the second half. Pena gets it across to Vega on the left wing. Swing it right to Mackey. Down in the right corner to Archibex. Gives it back to Pena right side. Mackey will come get in the right corner. He's going to spot up a 3. Rainbow jumper. And I guess you're going to pretty much know what happened on that one. It went through the hole. Michael Mackey now with 3 trays and leads the team with 13 points. That's the 6th three-point shot converted by the Hobbs Eagles. The kid will not be stopped so far, but he does have the 3 fouls to worry about. In the front court, Hobbs down by 1. Pass to the free throw line to Carr for the Bulldogs. Gives off to the right wing to Cruz. Up top of the arc to Valles. Valles pivots. Returns over to Navarez on the right wing. Down to the right corner to Cruz. Posting up Carr in the paint. Throws up a shot over the rim with his right hand. Misses off the back of the iron. Gets knocked around and goes out of bounds on the baseline. Eagle basketball. Not a lot of touch on that shot from Carr, and he had about 2 Eagles kind of converging on him in the paint.
Yeah, I didn't put as much oomph in it as I thought he would.
Mackey is going to get trapped in the backcourt. Throws it to Pena near side. Returns to Mackey. Double team against him. Throws it across to a wide open Archibeck on the left wing. Hand off to Mackey behind him in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench left wing. Cross court right to Pena. Up top to Vega. Back to Mackey on the left side. He finds Archibeck in the left corner. Double team against him on a 2-3 zone. Gives to Vega left wing. Cross court right to Pena with the jab step. Thought about a 3, then backed out of the defense and goes to the timeline. To Mackey on the left wing for an NBA 3, and Swisher time again. Michael Mackey running the house here offensively for the Eagles. He's got 16 points. That's the 7th tray of the ball game for the Eagles and 4 for Michael Mackey. 38-36, the Eagles have their first lead of the ball game here in the third quarter. They post up Carr in the paint, goes up high with 2 hands. He's got about 3 inches on anybody else on the court right now and puts it through. Carr now with 8 points. 38-38, we're tied. In the front court, Archibeck gets a pass left wing, over right to Pena. He's going to fire a tray off the back of the rim, loose on the right elbow, pulled down by Las Cruces by Hanley. That's his 3rd board. Throws it across the timeline. Bring it up is Navarez, going one-on-one against Vegas. Spin at the top of the circle. Wrap around to Hanley on the right wing. To Carr on the left elbow at the free throw line. He pivots, kicks right to Cruz. Cruz spots a tray off the front of the rim. Ripped down by Mackey. That's his 2nd rebound. Mackey's going to be in transition now with the dribble up across the timeline to the free throw line. Over to Vega, left wing, fakes a 3. One hands it over to Archibeck, left corner. He comes down the baseline, throws up a high arching shot from the block. No good, off the back of the rim. Tipped up for the Eagles by Archibeck, can't get it to drop. Pulled down again, and boy, they knocked Pena to the floor. Carr just took his elbow and shoved him down as hard as he could, and Pena did a tumble. Pena gets a rebound, but he's also going to get a couple of free throws. Hopefully they call that a shooting foul. I don't think Carr should be talked to by the official that time. Way too much brutal force on that one. If you got that on camera there, it was not too pretty, and he was just completely sidewinded, knocked to the floor.
Well, at least 3 times the Eagles got a second chance on a shot. Maybe that was it. There was just a little frustration on trying to get the ball and just unable to get to it.
Carr's first foul of the game. First on Las Cruces. First free throw is a swish for Pena. He's got 8 points, and he's 3 of 4 from the line for 75%. So he definitely is improving on his numbers in this game. Came in at 64 on the season. One more shot for Pena is up, and swish time for him. Pena got both of them, 9 points, second leading score now. Hobbs by 2, matching their biggest lead here in the third quarter, 40-38 over Las Cruces. 5:35 left third. In the front court, slowing up the dribbles, Navarez. Sliding right, gets a screen up top from Koenig. To the right wing to Cruz. Over to left elbow, jab step for Hanley. He's going to hold on to it. Good D coming out on him. Hand on the hip by Acosta. Coming over to get it left side is Navarez. Sends it down to the left corner to Hanley. Puts on the brakes, returns to Hanley left side, and return up top again to Cruz. Coming back to get it on the left wing is Koenig. Koenig unloads to the right side to Hanley, dumps it in the paint to Valles. Give and go, backdoor, missing the double hand layup. Hanley off the left side, pulled down by Pena, who gets shoved in the paint, trying to dribble out of traffic. So Pena has picked up back-to-back rebounds for the Eagles and is fouled again. 5 rebounds for Pena. It seems like he's attracting a lot of attention. I don't think Las Cruces likes the fact that one of the smaller players is going after the ball every single time and beat people like Carr to the leather.
Yeah, and Hobbs is lucky enough so far to get the advantage on the fouls early in this third quarter.
Koenig with 1 on him, second on the Bulldawgs now. 2-0 foul call in favor of the Eagles. 4:55 left, third quarter. Eagles by 2. Mackey in the front court, gets a screen from Turbiatis, who checked in. Shot from 18 is a swisher again. Michael Mackey from Trey. Michael Mackey from 2-point range, that time a 2. He's got 18 to lead the Eagles. 42-38, the biggest lead now is 4 here in the third quarter. Las Cruces across the timeline with the ball. Navarez to the right wing. He wants a 3-shot. In and out, no good. Ball tipped out by Las Cruces, out of bounds. Their big kid is on the bench now. So now the Eagles are going to try to take some advantage here, leading by 4. And having a big trouble is the Bulldawgs trying to guard Mackey. Ball comes into Pena on the near side. Pena's been scrapping too. Cross court left to Mackey. Double team against him. Returns to Pena. Got to get it across quickly with the 10-second count. And again to Mackey in the front court. Top of the circle. No look pass. Back door. Easy one-handed layup put through by Acosta off the glass. Right side. His first bucket. Eagles now with 6 scores in the game. 44-38. Their biggest lead is 6. And Coach Benjamin going to stop the bleeding here with the timeout. 4:11 remaining here in the third. Your Eagles 44. Las Cruces 38. As Hobbs has scored an 8-6 run here as they lead by 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Very clear.
Back live here in Las Cruces. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Tiffany Stuber. Hobbs leading by 6, 44-38. As we head through the middle of the third quarter, the Eagles were actually down at halftime, up at halftime, 36-32. I made a miscalculation there. The scoring so far for the Eagles in the second half has been 8 to what, Ron?
2.
Okay, 8-2.
Actually, it's 12-2 now that I look at it. 32 was his start. 42 or 44 now.
Las Cruces basketball on the right wing. Front court after the timeout is Koenig. He gives it off top of the circle to Navarez and returns to the right side, holding it for a second. Valles up top, 3 on the way for Cruz. He wants to shoot the tray, in and out, no good. Ball saved by 2 players, 1 for each team. It goes off the leg of Las Cruces on the right baseline. That was Code. It will be Hobbs Eagle basketball. Nice battle with him and Pena to try to save it against each other. Hobbs would have to try to beat the 2-2-1 trap. Inbound to Pena on the near side, and he tries to get through 2 defenders. A ball comes rolling out at midcourt. I don't know where that came from. They had to stop the play. That's the second time there's something been coming from the crowd. They had the band director's markers coming out in the first half, and now a basketball, Ron.
Looks like it came from the crowd, maybe even the high school section. Who knows, but either way, yeah, it got stopped quickly.
Inbound to Mackey, deep in the backcourt. The double team comes up the far sideline, down the middle of the court now off the crossover. Dishes off right corner to Vega. Up top, wide open Pena. NBA 3 on the way, off the back of the rim. Ball loose in the paint and pulled out in the left block for Las Cruces by Navarez, his second. He'll send it ahead to the right side to Cone, down the lane. Double clutch is hit from behind. They call the foul. Ball went straight up in the air, but they have a body and a block foul on Brian Acosta. coming down the lane behind him. That's the second on him. First team foul against the Eagles. And Las Cruces is going to get some free throws here the first time in the second half. Cone is yet to shoot one in the game. Las Cruces as a team just 2 of 4 for 50%. That was all in the first half. First shot in and out for Cone. And now Coach Reeves going to go to the bench and bring in a couple of subs. That includes Jordan Chisholm and Peyton Hodge. Exiting will be Brian Acosta and Michael Mackey.
Got a good game going on at Ralph Tasker right now. Halftime is now, and it is 35-25. Hobbs is in the lead.
Second free throw, no good. Pulled down by the Eagles by Turbiatis, but a steal on the far sideline taken away by Las Cruces, David Cruz. That's the 8th Eagle turnover. Throws it up top to Navarez. Back over to Cruz on the right wing. He'll back it out top of the arc. He's the three-point shooter. Unloads the cone on the left wing. Back door, reverse slam over the top of his head. Going backwards that time is Navarez. He's got 4 points. Eagles up by 4. 44-40. Inbound to Hodge on the near side. Dribbles up the sideline and gets the ball knocked out of his hands as he came across the time stripe. Navarez gets a piece of it. And Hodge sometimes gets a little bit ahead of himself and had a defender on his hip that time and tried to kind of dribble out in front of him and ended up getting knocked out. Luckily, it went out of bounds quickly. Hobbs will retain possession in the front court right wing. Inbounding will be Vega. Gets it back to Pena. Dribbles back to the timeline. Some crossover moves. Defense is going to slide with him just a bit. That's Navarez. Hand off to Vega off the dribble right wing. Comes left with it. Hand off to Hodge. Hodge top of the circle off the dribble himself. Hand off to Pena right wing. Jab step. Backs it up. Kicks it over to Vega left wing. Slides over to Hodge with the dribble. Hands off to him. Dribbles behind his back. Down the lane. Reverse slam. Windmill style. And he got the legs screwed out there as well. Extended both legs left and right. And scores out the left glass. NBA move there for Peyton Hodge. His first bucket. Eagles with 7 scores in the book now. They lead by 6. Matching their biggest of the game. 46-40, and coming down the lane, getting shoved to the back. Pena puts a hand on the back of Navarez at the top of the paint. So that will be a foul on Pena, and that will be his first personal second team foul against the Eagles. Bulldog basketball on the near sideline. Inbounding will be Elliot Cisneros. Eagles matching up man-to-man. Throws it back to the timeline of Navarez, guarded by Hodge. Crossover move, down the right side of the lane, tries to bounce it through Caden Hall's legs. It's knocked back up top and ripped away by Cone. Cone bounces it to the top of the circle to Hanley. Over to right wing, faking a 3 is Navarre. Sends it right corner for Valyez. Misses out the back of the rim on the tray. At the top of the circle, pulling it down is Pena, his 6th rebound. Tries to send it ahead to a breaking Jordan Chisholm coming down the paint, but overthrows him out of bounds. Eagles getting a little bit too hungry on that one, and the ball sails out on the baseline.
Yeah, if it would have worked, it would have been a great shot. Otherwise, just went out of bounds. A little too hard for him.
9 turnovers for the Eagles, 5 for the Bulldogs. Hobbs, though, with a 6-point lead, 1:55 remaining here in the third. Coming across the time stripe was Navarez. Stop and go, guarded by Pena. Lost it off his ankle. It's loose. And we got bodies are diving, and it looks like after losing the ball, Navarez tried to dive into the legs of Pena, trying to get him away from the basketball near this right sideline, and that will be a foul on Navarez. That's his third team foul, and will also go down as the 6th turnover for Las Cruces. Hobbs still holding on to a 6-point lead. 18 for Mackey to lead the squad, 9 for Pena, and for Las Cruces, Cruz with 14, but all coming in the first half. Mackey in the front court, 1:44 left in the third. On the left wing, gets a screen from Chisholm. Uses up the dribble, coming back to get it is Hodge on the right side. Returns to Mackey left wing in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Hard dribble now to the left baseline, goes up double clutch, gets bodied up. We're going to see if they're going to call the shooting foul on this. Yes, they will. He was in the shooting motion. So a body foul going to be called against Las Cruces to bring to their 4th team foul. And puts Mackey on the line to shoot the deuce. Michael Mackey yet to shoot a free throw yet in this game. He's 78% this season coming in. They called the foul on Hanley, his first. Shots up and good for Mackey. Still leads the team in scoring with 19 now. Mentioned he came into the ball game averaging 22.3. Ron, he's almost there already, and we're not even into the 4th quarter yet.
I know he has caught fire, which Hobbs really needed.
9 points here in the 3rd quarter for him, and now make it 10. He makes both free throws perfect. 48-40. The Eagles have their biggest lead of 8. 1:30 left in the 3rd. Coming across the timeline for Las Cruces, Valyez, guarded by Pena. Spin move, top of the circle. One hand bounce pass to the right wing. On the pivot now is Hanley. Hanley finds his teammate left elbow to Cone, throws up a shot at the back of the rim. Mackey tried to save it from the left baseline behind his back, but lost control of it. They say he stepped on the line anyway, so it'll be Las Cruces basketball. Never had control, so no rebound on that one. They're going to bring back the big kid now for Las Cruces, 6'6". and that is Caleb Carr. They get it into the right block, faking a shot, driving to the hoop is Hanley. Double clutch, miss. Carr's right in front of the iron. He throws up two hands, but lost control of it. Gets bodied from behind and a foul, though. That's the 8th rebound for Carr. Nobody blocking him out. Got to use that gluteus maximus there to move him back, but he's going to take advantage of his size. They get the foul call on the Eagles. That's Jordan Chisholm's first, 3rd team foul. Carr on the line is yet to shoot a free throw in this ball game.
Carr may be using advantage of his height, but he's definitely not using the advantage of his aim, because right there he just missed it, and he's missing a couple before, whether it be too short or too hard.
Misses the first free throw, does, off the back of the rim. He'll get one more. Second shot, faded away a little bit, and stays in the cylinder for one. He's got 9 points. And he's going to come out quickly. Just barely got back in. Coach Benjamin wants a word with him. Eagle basketball leading by 7, 48-41 with 1:11 left here in the third. Hodge looking for somebody on the full court pressure. Gets it into Mackey. Back to Hodge. Behind him a little bit. Throws it across to Pena. A 3-on-1. Backdoor. Going to the hoop with it. Uncontested with the lefty layup is Jordan Chisholm. His first bucket of the ball game. 8 scores for the Eagles. 50-41 down at the other end. Lefty layup taken on a long pass from Hanley. No good. Chisholm gets the rebound. His first. Sends it across to Pena. Back to Chisholm coming down the right lane. To Hall coming down the middle of the paint. Gets the handoff and lays it in for 2 over the front of the iron on a finger roll. He's got 6. 52-41. The Eagles' biggest lead now is 11. 39 seconds left in the third. Into the front court. A pass to Hanley on the left wing. Jab step. He's just going to hold for a minute against the defense of Chisholm. Backs it out. Uses up his dribble. Chisholm all over him. Bounce pass to the right wing to Cruz, the 3-point shooter. He's dribbling through his legs. Top of the arc. Guarded by Hodge. Hodge will step out on him. Kick out to right to Cone. Back to Cruz on the right side. A correction, that was Valyez. Top of the circle, pass to Hanley. Goes through 2 defenders, tries to go up with it. They're going to say he stumbled around too much. Hodge, and for the Eagles, Jordan Chisholm stepped up in the lane against him, and he tried to go through him and then stumbled to feet. That will be another turnover for Las Cruces, their 7th. Hobbs by 11, 52-41. Hodge throws it in, gets it back, beats the pressure, comes down the middle of the lane. Scoop pass to Hall on the right block, goes up with 2 hands and drills it over for 2. Hall now with 8, 4 points here in the third for him. Down to 1 second, a half-court shot, the buzzer by Valyez. Hits the glass, but comes off, no good. So Hobbs Eagles, a big turnaround here in the third quarter. They're up by 13 now. Their biggest lead of the contest, 54-41 over Las Cruces. We'll be back in 60 seconds live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Start the fourth quarter quickly here in Las Cruces. Your Eagles up 54-41. Shot from the top of the arc for Cruces, and Cruz hits another 3. He hasn't had any in the second half, but that is his 5th of the ball game, and the 5th for Las Cruces, 17 for Cruz, 54-44. Eagles up by 10, and boy, Hodge gets the ball stripped out of his hands at the timeline as it's taken away by Hanley. Eagles 10th turnover. Goes it back deep to the timeline to Navarez. Stop and go, spin move, top of the circle. Gives it off to the right wing to Hanley. Back to the right block with a bounce pass, and the shot is rejected as getting a piece of it from behind Abraham Pena, as he'll knock the shot of Valyez from point-blank range on the right block to the baseline. It will be Las Cruces basketball. David Cruz, 17, leading Las Cruces for your Eagles. Michael Mackey with 29 for Pena, 8 for Hall. Bounce pass in on the inbound to Hanley on the right block. Comes in the lane, hook shot with his right hand, heading right, and scores over the rim. Hanley has 5. 54-46, Eagles by 8. Mackey in the backcourt. Going to be guarded hard by Valyez. To Pena, give it back to Mackey as he comes through the timeline. To the free throw line, shot on the way, and there's another one through the hole for Michael Mackey. Mackey with 22 points. He had 6 in the first quarter, 4 in the second. 10 in the third, and now 2 here in the fourth for that 22. 56-46, 10-point lead. They post up Carr on the left block. He barely has to jump. Big size and throws it off the glass for 2 on the left. Carr now with 11. Second leading score for Las Cruces behind 17 for Cruz. 48-56, Hobbs by 8. Mackey jumps in the air at the timeline, throws it over to the left wing to Chisholm and got knocked in the face. Falls backward on his back, does Mackey as he threw the pass. And that'll be a foul on Las Cruces. That will be their 5th personal or 5th team foul. And they're going to charge that one to Tavares. That's his 4th. Inbound to Mackey near the timeline. Front court near the scores table. He's just going to hold it. Coach Reeves says, let's get some rotation here, run some clock. To the left wing. Gets a screen from Chisholm. Pass up top to Hall. He pivots. Hand off to Hodge, going to the free throw line off the dribble. Coming back to get it for the Eagles is Chisholm, left side. Hand behind him to Pena, left wing. Up top to Hall. Hall to Mackey on the right side. Back up top for Chisholm for 3 off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound to the left block by Valdez. It's his first rebound. Sends it to the timeline to bring it across to Tavares. He's guarded by Pena. Dribbles through his legs. Gives the ball down to Valdez, right corner. To the free throw line, a floater to Hanley. Holds the ball high in the air, and Hodge right on top of him. Kicks it back right wing to Valdez. Cross court left to Cruz, a 3-point shooter. He'll spot a 3 from the left corner. Clinks in front of the rim. No good. Save attempt by Pena and lost control but out of bounds. They probably should have just let that one have gone out, but he was giving some good hustle to try to keep it in for the Eagles.
It looked like he could have gotten it, but unfortunately, though, he did run out of real estate and it went out of bounds.
Right baseline, the Cruces will have the ball. Get into Carr. He goes up strong with 2 hands. Has about 4 or 5 inches on, unfortunately, Jordan Chisholm just kind of pushed it in the hole, and they call the foul on Chisholm. So Carr just picked up his 13th point. Got Chisholm on his 2nd personal. 14th foul. What do you do against a guy 4 or 5 inches taller than you, Ron? I guess use that butt as much as you can. Yeah,
you either do that or you just simply hope that he is going to miss like he has in the past.
Free throw up and good, though. He's 2 of 3 from the line. He's got 14. 56-51. Eagles by 5. 5:35 remaining. Mackey in the flat court. Throws it across to Hodge. Down the free throw line. Reverse layup on the right with a little windmill action. Throws it off the glass and scores. Timeout quickly for Coach Reeves after the shot. Hodge with 4 points. And they're going to call a full timeout. And we're going to get our sponsors on here as we talk about the people that make sure these broadcasts get on for free for all the Hobbs Eagle fans listening and across the state, whoever's tuning in tonight.
Exactly. We are very thankful for the following. Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson & Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Utis Pump and Supply, Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline.
58-51, your Eagles lead by 7. Look at the scoring in this through 3 quarters so far and into the 4th. 22 for Michael Mackey, 9 for Pena with 6 rebounds. He leads the team on the board so far. Caden Hall has 8 points, perfect on the line, 2 for 2. Braylon Vega, the freshman, had 7 points in the first half off of 2 trays and 1 for 2 free throw shooting. Then a whole host of other guys helping out the scoring tonight. Hodge with 4, Chris Archibald 4, Costa, Chisholm both with 2. So Hobbs right now with a total of 9 players in the scoring column at this point. Definitely like to see everybody get involved as much as possible. And a lot of trays been dropped in tonight for the Eagles as well. 4 for Michael Mackey, stroking it really well. He's had 2 3-pointers in both halves at this point. Braylon Vega hit 2 for Hobbs in the first half as well. So that's 6 between those two. Add Abraham Pena's tray, that's number 7. So 7 3-pointers converted for the Hobbs Eagles in this game. And again, that's matched up with the David Cruz of Las Cruces, who's hit all 5 of the trays for the Bulldogs. 58-51 after the timeout. Las Cruces ball in the front court. David Cruz throws it up top to Hanley. Hanley to Carr on the right elbow. Challenging him hard is Chisholm. Gives it up top to reset to Navarez. To the left wing to Hanley. Holds the ball against Caden Hall. Kicks it right wing to Valdez. Down low to Carr between triple team, and he gets hammered. Kind of like a pinball inside of there that time, and as his head kind of swiveled into 3 defenders and got hit right in the nose, did Carr. He was towering over the Hobbs Eagles, but got the foul regardless against Hobbs. That was Peyton Hodges' 3rd and the 15th foul. They missed a point-blank shot underneath by Carr. Long rebound for the Eagles as Pena dribbles into the front court, his 7th board to lead the Eagles on the glass. Over to Mackey on the left wing. Clock to 4:55 remaining. Hobbs by 7. Mackey's going to dribble back to the timeline. All 3 of the Hobbs Eagle coaches are trying to get everybody in the action here, knowing what they're supposed to do. Mackey comes around the right circle. Slows it down. Cross court left to Hall. Coming back to get it on the left wing is Pena. Up top to Archibald. Correction, that is Chisholm with the ball at the top. Hand off to Hodge going from right to left to Hall on the left wing. Hall's going to slide left with the dribble for the Hobbs Eagle bench. Throws it up top again to Chisholm. Chisholm comes right. Throws it to Pena, back door on the baseline. 10-footer is an air ball. And underneath the hoop for the rebound right block is Hanley, his fourth board. Outlet up the near sideline to Cruz, 1-on-2. Goes to rack left side with a scoop shot with his right hand on the inside and scores. Cruz now with 19. That's only his second 2-point shot of the ball game. 58-53. Eagles down up by 5. Jumping in the air is Mackey at the time stripe. Throws it across right wing to Chisholm. Over to left side to Hodge. Spots up a 3. Clinks out the bottom of the rim. Ball gets tipped out on the near sideline. Ripped away by Valiez, his second rebound. It looks like we might have a jump ball. Yes, we do, right in front of us here on the near right sideline. As Hobbs is going left to right on the radio dial, if you're following us there. And the jump ball arrow is going to go for the Eagles. So they get the ball back here, as that will be Michael Mackey to inbound. Bulldogs trying to get in the sub in here for Coach Benjamin, Izzy Navarez. Remember this Las Cruces team last year, Ron, 31-1. The only game they lost was in the championship to Volcano Vista, so they were not too happy. Of course, Coach Benjamin's son was on that team and averaging 25 points a ball game. They lost 3 seniors, though, their top scorers. Mackey inbound to Pena on the right side. He'll hold it with 3:50 left. Right wing gets a screen from Chisholm. Over to Hall on the left wing. Coming behind is Mackey on the same side. He finds Chisholm top of the circle. Looking right, hand off to Hodge. Over to Hall on the left wing. Hall very patient with it. Touch pass over to the left side to Pena up top to Chisholm again. Hand off to Mackey right wing. Over to Hall on the left side. So a little passing game to run clock. Hodge on the left wing gets the pass. Almost got the travel. He kind of stepped forward a couple of times and referee let him pass on that one. Backs it out to the timeline to run clock at 3:20. To the right perimeter. Screen from Chisholm. Back to Hall at the top of the circle. Nobody getting open. It has to hand off to Pena at the time stripe. Top of the arc to Chisholm. Chisholm takes a few dribbles right and a handoff to Mackey. Clock to 3:05. Top of the circle to Hall. Hall with the lefty dribble. Handoff to Hodge on the far left sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Up top to Chisholm. Back door to Hall in the paint. Gets knocked to the floor. Forearm in the back that time. Carr was trying to get the travel call from the official, but he got shoved in the back first by Izzy Navarez. That might be his 5th. It is. Navarez is fouled out of this one. 4 points in the ball game and 2 rebounds for Izzy Navarez, the first foul out of the contest. He's one of their better guards out there, and stepping in for him will be Elliot Cisneros. Hodge will go back door on the inbound. There's Pena with a little shot put action with his left hand on the left side of the glass. Pena puts through for 2. And for him now, that's 11 points in double digits, 60-53. Eagles by 7. At the other end, Carr goes up big asking for the ball and just kind of barely lofts it over the right side of the rim. Barely had to jump again as usual. Carr continues to put down the points for Las Cruces. He's got 7 here in the 4th, 16 overall. And he's not the leading scorer, though. Cruz has 19. So we're going to take a breather here. We'll keep it right here at Las Cruces. 2 years ago when the Eagles came to play, they were still renovating their gym. You and I were here, Ron, and we were in the secondary gym there, and that was in pretty decent shape. But this gym kind of looks better than it has been in the last few years. Kind of resembles that second gym, the brand new one they built next door, but not as dusty and run down as we saw it several years ago. So they've done some good upkeep here the last couple of years here in Las Cruces.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Also, like you said, not as dirty, dusty, and it has some vibrant colors here, mostly blue, but still, it looks brand new because, frankly, it is.
And again, it'd be a little bit better if they put black and gold in here, then it would be a full package, right?
Yeah, that'd be a whole different color. Yeah, that'd be a whole different scheme, too. Winning.
We like the scheme going on right now. The Eagles lead by 5 over Las Cruces, 60-55, with 2:42 left here in the 4th. Hodge on the baseline of the backcourt, gets into Mackey, picks up a double team, beats both of them up the far sideline off the dribble, and gets pushed from behind as he got some speed going up that sideline, heading towards the Hobbs Eagle bench. And they get the foul on Las Cruces. That's charged to Hanley, his second, 16th foul. Make it the 7th. Bonus the rest of the game for the Eagles. And now Carr's going to check back in. Comes in for Koenig. And Mackey will step up to shoot the 1-and-1 bonus. He's perfect 2 for 2 on the line, has 22 points, leading both teams in scoring.
Yeah, Las Cruces was caught out of position. They had to do something, otherwise Mackey was going to drive the lane and get those 2 easy points.
First free throw's up, and it is rolling around and good for Mackey. 23 for him. And he's edging. Actually, he's over his average for the season at 22.3 with that bucket there. So, or free throw there. That's 23 versus 22.3. So he definitely is going to where he needs to go. Of course, definitely doing some damage in that tournament at APS Metro. 31.2 a ball game. Second shot's up and good. He's got 24 now. 62-55, Eagles back up by 7 with 2:38 remaining in the game. Biggest lead was 11 here in the second half. Into the front court comes Cruz. Finds Valiez in the right wing to the free throw line left to Hanley. Top of the circle as he backs out. Kicks it back right to Valiez. Spins. Returns to the top of the arc to Cisneros. Zings it down to the left corner to Hanley. Drives the lane. Stumbles around. Gets two defenders. Doesn't know what to do with it. Just throws it back to the timeline and have to chase it down as Valiez in front of the scorer's table on the right side. Comes back to the top of the circle against Mackey. Flicks it over to the left wing to Cruz. Drives the lane. Reverse. On the right side in front of the rim and scores. A little flick over the shoulder that time for Cruz. He's got 21. 62-57 at the other end. It's Pena spinning on the left wing. Back deep to Hodge with 2 minutes left. The Hobbs Eagles staff saying, hey guys, spread this thing out. We're going North Carolina style here. Hodge at the scorer's table left. Spins. Uses up the dribble. Pena comes back and gets it at the scorer's table left side to Hodge at the free throw line. Back to Pena. No defenders on him and having to run out there to pick him up as Cisneros. Pena dribbles to the free throw line with a jump stop to Hodge back at the scorer's table. Coach Benjamin trying to get some fouls here, and they finally listen to him as he stomps his foot. And finally a hold by Hanley as Hodge continues towards the lane. They get him from behind. So Hanley will pick up his third, 18th foul, and Hodge gets a 1-and-1. He hasn't shot a free throw, does have 4 points. Hodge came into the contest at 27% from the charity stripe, so anything he puts in here is going to bring those numbers up and try to put this game in the books. Hobbs by 5. Hodge hits a hard one off the back of the rim, no good. Carr pulls it down for Las Cruces. That's his 9th rebound, working on a double-double. Already has double points at this point. In the front court, Cruz over to left elbow to Hanley. Hanley gives it to Carr on the right side of the free throw line. Back over to left wing to Cisneros. Slings it over to right wing to Valiez. Dumps it in the paint. Lost by Hanley. Picked up. Goes up with 2 hands. Counted on the fade to the hoop and a foul. So putting it through is Hanley. 7 points for him. And a foul on the Eagles. That'll be number 6. It should be. Scoreboard hasn't changed yet. And that'll put Hanley on the line. He's 1 of 2 from the charity stripe and has 7 points. Now Carr's going to take a seat and kind of wondering why he's coming out. He's the big kid. That's coming in for him is Koenig. They need his size to get some boards here. Hanley will get the free throw. Shot is up, and it is a swish. So he's got 8. They had called the foul on that, by the way, on Chisholm, his 3rd. 1:16 remaining to get the inbound to Mackey on the far left sideline in front of the Las Cruces bench. And one referee was trying to get the timeout call, and almost a collision in front of the Las Cruces bench by Mackey as they got the whistle a little late on that timeout. Coach Reese had to come out in the court to get their attention on that one. We'll stop the clock with 1:16 remaining. We'll keep it right here, Ron. A 2-point ball game. We've had some games at the APS Metro tournament where Hobbs couldn't seal the deal with a single-digit lead towards the start of the fourth quarter. This one they've had pretty much in hand here in the second half, up by as many as 11, but here we go. The Bulldawgs have got themselves right back in this game. It's a 2-point contest. They can ill afford any turnovers here.
Well, when you have a third quarter that's 22-5 with Hobbs in the lead, and Las Cruces had to come back, and so far right now it looks like it's 19-8 in favor of Las Cruces. So it's a close game. It was going to be a runaway for a moment, but Las Cruces woke up in the fourth quarter, coming back, and now it's just a matter of who can hold on to the lead and get this victory.
Should mention just a few days ago, Las Cruces actually lost Artesia 47-43. We saw Artesia at their home tournament, the City of Champions. They went 0-3 at that tournament. They had just got some football players from the championship game a few days before that. They weren't ready to go, but Artesia's really come on big, and to knock off Las Cruces high, that's a feather in their cap.
Exactly, although Las Cruces has got a 3-game losing streak going on. Hobbs has got the 1-game winning streak. They'd like to continue with that winning streak, but of course, Las Cruces would like to get out of their funk and get back to the winning side.
Your Eagles will be on the road on Friday against Los Lunas, 7 o'clock, and then Cleveland on Saturday. Hobbs basketball after the timeout. Bouncer into Mackey, comes across to the free throw line, shot with the runner, it's good. Puts it through the hole, does Mackey. He's got 26 to lead both teams, 64-60. Eagles by 4 with 1:05 remaining. Into the front court is Cruz. Gives over to the right wing to Koenig. Down low, double clutch and getting knocked to the floor on the right block. As the Eagles going on top of the shooter that time and trying to go between bigger guys was Valiez, one of their shorter guards out there. And he comes getting himself off the court. One of his teammates kind of peeled him off there as Cruz was flat on his stomach. They get the foul on the Eagles, and the 4th called on Jordan Chisholm, 7th against Hobbs. And the 2-shot foul here for Valiez, who is 1 of 2 from the charity stripe and has 5 points, is yet to score in this fourth quarter. It's a 4-point lead, though, for the Eagles, 64-60 with 59.7 left here in the fourth. Valiez's first free throw is a brick off the back of the rim, and he's still feeling that foul as he hit hard face first on that hardwood.
Oh, yeah, definitely is feeling it, and I'm starting to feel it too a little bit.
I'm surprised they're leaving Carr on the bench right now with a 4-point deficit. You need to get as many rebounds as possible here for Las Cruces. Second shot's good for Valdez, now with 6 points. Hobbs by 3. Nobody's taking the ball out for the Eagles. Finally, Mackey jumps back there, and he's more of the dribble type here. Looking for help. He's got to throw a high one up, across, and we got a official was pointing at the wrong bench for a timeout. He pointed to Las Cruces and then looked back over to Hobbs and pointed the other direction, left to right. No, they called the foul. Boy, he was pointing to the benches that time. They called the foul on Las Cruces. Not sure where he had that one, but they get that against the Bulldawgs. That's their 9th foul. 1-on-1 bonus for the Eagles. That puts Pena on the line. They charge it to Hanley. That's his 4th. And now Carr is stepping in as he comes in for Koenig. Cruces fans are booing for some reason. I think they thought there was a timeout called as well. Pena will be on the line. He'll get the 1-on-1 bonus. He is perfect or make that 4 or 5 tonight, 80%, and swishes the first one here. He's got 11 points. Pena came into this contest averaging 14.3, so a little bit below his average, but definitely could use those double digits for this Eagle team, trying to pull out a win here to go +2 in the win-loss column. Second shot for Abraham Pena with 12 points is up, and it is good. He got them both. 13 for Abraham Pena, second leading scorer behind the 26 of Michael Mackey, so he's half of what Mackey's got, but 26 plus 13, 39 points between those two tonight. And some other guys stepping up too. Caden Hall with 8 points. Rylan Vega has 7. 59 seconds left. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Your Eagles up by 5 over Las Cruces. Late here in the fourth quarter, your Hobbs Eagles lead over Las Cruces by 5, 66-61 with the Bulldog basketball. Down to 55 as the ball comes into Valdez on the far side. Or correction, make that Cruz. Stop and go against Hodge. Alley-oop down low. Carr gets the ball knocked out of his hands. He got crashed into. Looks like a couple of guys trying to keep that out of his hands. Jordan Chisholm and Brian Acosta, who just checked back in for the Eagles. Hasn't been on there for a little bit. See who they got the foul against. That is the 8th against the team. Looks like they'll charge that one to Acosta. They only have him for 2. I had him for 3, but we'll take that little edge there. Puts Carr on the line. And Carr right now with 16 points. Misses it off the back of the rim, but tipping it up and in on the right block is Valdez. That's his 3rd rebound, and he's got 8 points off the miss from Carr on the right side. I don't think that was on purpose, but it clinked off the rim. 66-63, 3-point Eagle lead with 35 remaining. Mackey gets double-teamed in the paint in the backcourt. Unloads the paint in near side. Cross-court left to Hodge. Knocked out of his hands at the timeline as the steal comes from Cisneros, the 11th turnover. Throws it across to Carr, and we got a whistle. Coach Benjamin gets a timeout. So it's a 3-point ball game. The Eagles getting their 11th turnover, kind of a helium pass to half court. And it'll be Las Cruces with the possession. Of course, they want to keep it away. Hobbs does the defense, keep it away from David Cruz, who in this ball game has hit 5 3-pointers, including 1 in this fourth quarter. He's the only guy that's hit trays in the game for Las Cruces. So again, he's going to have a bullseye on his back. What do you expect to do against him?
Just guard the perimeter. Just make sure he doesn't even get an open look, and see if you can also kind of limit Carr on his ability to get open underneath the basket, be able to get those. But if you do get Carr with the basket, you want to foul him because he has not been able to be hitting any of those free throws so far in this game. He's been awful.
So that'll be the Eagles hopefully taking advantage of this situation here. Don't want to get a hand on top of Cruz if he throws up a 3, just straight up in the air, not extended. As you don't want to give him a chance for a 4-point play. A 4-point play would get the lead for Las Cruces, and they haven't had that for quite a long time in this ball game. 66-63 as the Eagles lead by 3 with 26.3 seconds remaining. Hobbs trying to get their win here to go +2 in the win-loss column. It'll be 9-7, and Las Cruces trying to get their 8th win this season. They are 7-6 as we speak.
Another nail biter here.
26 seconds remaining. The inbound comes to the deep right corner. Ricochets off of Hanley and taken away for Brian Acosta. That'll be the 8th turnover. Pass up the near sideline to Hobbs. Gets through the pressure. 3-on-1. Comes down the lane over to Acosta on the left wing and running some clock. They get the ball over to Pena in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench on the left side, and they foul him quickly. So the turnover for Las Cruces. And the Eagles are going to try to seal the deal with Pena here as they get the foul call on Cisneros, his first 10th team foul. This will be a double bonus for Pena. And Pena has made all but one of his free throws so far. He is 6 of 7 and 13 points. So big time shooting for him. He's made his last 4 here in the second half. Shots up and swish for Pena. 14 for Pena, second leading scorer for the Eagles, 26 for Mackey. 14 seconds remaining, and your Eagles by 4. Already a 2-possession ball game here. Pena's second free throw is up, and it is good. 15 for Pena, 68-63, clock to 12. Dribbling up the near sideline and diving with the ball as he lost control is Valdez. And they're going to call Hodge on that one. Hodge was holding his ground. The kid came into him, but they called the foul on Peyton Hodge. And that'll be Peyton's second personal.
Yeah, and Coach is making a good point. Hodge wasn't even near him when he lost the ball. How can you call somebody who wasn't even close to the player who lost the ball?
And dove forward.
He
was trying to save it is what he was doing and fell into Hodge. They called the foul on Hodge. So Valdez now will be on the line. He is 2 for 4 from 50%, has 8 points. And trying to get this down from 5, he does with the first free throw. It's down to 4, 68-64. 12.7 seconds remaining. Brian Acosta on the court for the Eagles. Michael Mackey, Jordan Chisholm, also Pena and Hodge. Second free throw, rolls off the rim, no good. Ripped down by Hodge on the near sideline. He takes a one dribble and gets fouled quickly, his second rebound. So he's going to try to return the favor. The foul called on him just seconds ago. Now he's going to get some free throws, a double bonus at the other end. That'll be Las Cruces' 12, or make it 11th team foul. And they're going to get that foul against, I believe, Hanley. That should be his 5th. Yep, Hanley is fouled out. And he had some points there in this fourth quarter, 5, but 8 overall. He'll foul out with 8 and 4 rebounds. So he's one of their better players out there. As make that Peyton Hodge has a chance to add to the 4-point lead with the free throws here. He's 0 of 1 so far. That coming into this fourth quarter. Does have 4 points. First shot for Hodge is hard off the back of the rim, no good. He'll get one more.
A little confusion there. They thought it was a 1-and-1. It was not.
Mackey's going to switch up. He was near back court, and he's going to switch up with the big kid for the Eagles. That's Jordan Chisholm. So Chisholm and Acosta will step back to the timeline, and Mackey's going to bang it up with Pena in the middle of these big trees for Las Cruces. At least Carr that's in there, I should say. Second shot for Hodge is good. He got 1 of 2. So Peyton Hodge now with 5 points, 69-64. A 2-possession game here. Long pass down to Cruz left corner. Lost the ball, taken away by Mackey. Las Cruces with their 10th turnover. Mackey dribbling against double-team pressure, finds Pena at the timeline, and that will end the ball game. The clock runs out as the Hobbs Eagles get the victory, 69-64 over Las Cruces to improve to 9-7 on the season. The Bulldawgs drop to 500 at 7-7. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, also HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the internet. Back here in Las Cruces, Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Tiffany Stuber. Hobbs Eagle basketball on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. It's the post-game show. Victorious tonight for the Eagles as they win 69-64 over Las Cruces High, a team that was 31-1 last year in the state championship, lost to Volcano Vista, so pretty big win for Hobbs. Las Cruces drops to 7-7. Your Eagles improved to 9-7, and Ron on a 2-game win streak.
Yeah, they are. You can always think that on the third quarter performance, 22-5, they outscored the Bulldawgs, and that was the reason why they got this victory. Kept it up in the end. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the fact that they kind of lose those fourth quarter leads due to inexperience, but I think they have enough experience now to be able to get themselves into a win from a fourth quarter lead.
Heck, 7 games from tournament action. Hobbs held a tournament during Christmas, and then also last week, of course, with the 4 games they played in Albuquerque. That definitely improves your experience. But the Eagles trying to get the chemistry going with different people in and out with injuries, things of that nature. So, again, it's a work in progress. Coach Reed's the first to admit that, but this team is getting some wins, and big ones against a team that has been in the playoffs quite a bit in the deep rounds for the last couple of seasons under Coach Benjamin. Let's look at Las Cruces' scoring here in this game. They do have 2 in double digits. David Cruz, a big three-point night for him. He had all of the three-point shots converted for Las Cruces. He had a total of 5 in the game. 1 in the second, 3 in the second, or 1 in the first, 3 in the second, and 1 in the second half, third quarter, with 21 points. Did not score in the fourth in this ball game. 21 points for him. He also had 1 rebound and no free throw opportunities. He liked to shoot from the outside. Not much going on in the paint for the little guard there. Caleb Carr, the big 6'7", 6'6", 6'7" post player, finished with 16. He is 1 rebound away from a double-double. I'm sure the Las Cruces media will give him an extra rebound somewhere there. But in terms of free throws, didn't help his cause. Only had 4 attempts, made 2 for 50%, but did, again, 9 rebounds and 16 points. So was a threat underneath with his big size and good bulk up top on the shoulders. So 37 combined for Cruz and Carr. Getting close to double digits, Suj Valles, he finished with 9 points. He was also on the free throw 6 times and got 3 of those and 3 rebounds. Again, 9 for him, 1 away from double digits. Thomas Hanley fouled out in the fourth quarter, but did manage 8 points in this game. He was 2 of 3 from the line and had 4 rebounds. Coming down after that was Izzy Navarez with 4 points and 2 rebounds before he fouled out in the fourth quarter. And a slew of guys had a bucket apiece, or at least 2 points apiece. Elliot Cisneros, Alexander Cohn, also Joe Koenig, he had 2 as well. A total of 8 players scoring in this game for Las Cruces. Not the best free throw shooting, though. That kind of hurt them towards the end. 7 of 15 for 46%, so under 50% mark in this ball game for the Bulldogs. They did have 10 turnovers, which was 1 less than the Eagles, and they did out-rebound Hobbs 19-16, and that's thanks mostly to the big kid Caleb Carr, who finished with 9 boards. So those pretty much the numbers for Las Cruces. Again, 2 in double digits, Cruz and Carr. And for your Hobbs Eagles, who run their record to 9-7 after this 69-64 win, Michael Mackey once again stepping to the top of the leaderboard for the Hobbs Eagles and passed his average on the season. Came in at 22 a game. Tonight, 26, Ron. 4 of 4 from the charity stripe, all coming in the second half, and he had 4 trays in this ball game, 2 in the first half, 2 in the second half, 2 rebounds as well. And again, when he dribbles up the sidelines or even up the middle, he's challenging that defender to stay with him, and he'll try to react and throw his head in the air and get that referee watching too. That's just part of his game out there. But it's hard to keep up with that kid. He just got a great first step, and he knows how to control the basketball and doesn't get all nervous in the backcourt when there's pressure on him.
Yeah, there's a couple of times that I know of that he had a good lead on all of the Bulldogs. Had to get a foul on him because otherwise it would have been an easy 2-pointer layup. But instead, he's been working on his free throws, has been doing great on that one. And overall, the fact that he's been in all 4 quarters, he was disappearing earlier in the season, but now he's not. He is playing his game and is playing it to win. And once he does that well, usually Hobbs wins the game.
So 26 points, 4 for 4 free throw shooting for Michael Mackey. Abraham Pena in his slot as usual, number 2 with 15 points. In fact, his free throw shooting almost perfect tonight, 8 of 9, as he made his last 6 free throws in the second half to get the double digits. He also hit a tray in the game and finished up with 7 rebounds. And Pena is still doing a good job on the glass. I notice he's been stepping up in several games at the Albuquerque Metro tournament, the sophomore. And sometimes it's kind of hard to fit in your slot at such a young age. You're not used to all these big teams are playing in 2 weeks of tournament action. But this kid is pretty cool and collected and takes the opportunities when he gets to. And tonight he got 15 in this game. So Mackey and Pena combining for 41 of the Hobbs Eagles' 69 points. Other scoring tonight, including Caden Hall, doing a good job coming off the bench for the Eagles, had 8 points, 2 for 2 free throw shooting, and a rebound. Also in the scorebook tonight, Braylon Vega was 7 points. He was 1 of 2 from the line with a free throw, and all 7 of his points coming in the second quarter. Peyton Hodge with 5 points, 1 of 3 from the charity stripe, 2 rebounds for him. And then it was Chris Archibek with 4 points off of 2 buckets. A couple of guys getting 2 tonight, Brian Acosta and Jordan Chisholm. Chisholm adding a rebound for the action. And so the Hobbs Eagles finish up with 8 scores in the books. They went 16 of 20 for 80% from the line, one of their best shooting performances tonight. That's thanks a lot to the 8 of 9 for Abraham Pena and 4 for 4 for Michael Mackey.
Exactly. You get those 2 on the line, and, it's pretty much 90-95% here lately. And other teammates have been working on theirs as well. They're not doing as badly as they used to, which is great because 45-50% will not win you games when it comes to the stretch.
And the three-point shooting, Hobbs wins that battle tonight. 7 for the Eagles, just 5 for Las Cruces High. So 2 better than what Las Cruces got. Turnovers 1 more for the Eagles, 11 compared to 10 for Las Cruces. And the Eagles were out-rebounded, as we mentioned, 19-16. But in terms of the boards, Pena, the leader in that, was 7, and nobody even close in terms of that. But I was happy to see the 8 guys jumping into the scoring column tonight and getting some different looks out there for the Eagles to get the 5-point win.
Exactly. We always have been talking about the fact that simple teamwork will get this done. And once Hobbs is comfortable with each other, is able to do things like passes and rebounds and all the other things that they need to do, fundamentals, then yes, they're going to be a much better team and a much harder team to beat.
Well, Ron, we're not going to be done traveling this week. Going to Los Lunas Friday night, 7 o'clock start time against the Tigers. The Eagles lost to them at the Artesia tournament. I don't know how long ago that was, about a month or so or more, actually. Things are starting to kind of glue together here. That's the 3rd tournament, I forgot. Artesia was first, then, of course, Hobbs Holiday, and now the APS Metro last week. Los Lunas won 46-43 in that game. They were up 12-9 at the end of 1. Hobbs outscored Los Lunas 10-8 in the second quarter, so it was 20-19 Tigers at halftime. Los Lunas added to their lead in the third, 16-8, but then the Eagles returned the favor in the fourth. Just not enough, though, 16-10 for a 3-point loss. Big game for Michael Mackey in that one. He was shooting 60% from the field and drained in 26 points. And again, there's Mr. Pena again at that number 2 slot. He finished with 11 in that game, so definitely some guys stepping up big as usual for the Hobbs Eagles scoring. Michael Mackey led in rebounds, too, and he's not the big kid out there. He had 8 boards for the Eagles' cause, and Pena was number 2 at 5. So those 2 guys kind of put the team on their back there and almost got the win, but just lost by a few in that one, 46-43. Los Lunas, in terms of the Max Preps poll right now, is sitting at number 5, and they have a strength of schedule at 10.5, so they're kind of near the middle pack in terms of who they played so far. But the Hobbs Eagles, with their numbers currently at 13th in the Max Preps poll at 14.6 strength of schedule, so they played a lot of tough teams, especially with the Max or with the tournament we just went to, APS Metro. So I'm looking to see the Eagles playing some revenge factor there. If they can just keep that bus mentality out of their head and not worrying about the travel trip. I think kids like to be on the road, though. I mean, it gets away from school a little bit, but they're going to have to wait till Thursday or so to head back out again.
Yeah, I think you're right, too. I think they like to travel more than they may like to admit that. This Los Lunas team, they faced them 5 times so far. 3-2, Hobbs leads barely, just by 1. They have not played at Los Lunas at all in Los Lunas, so this will be a first for them as well. The other times they played them in Artesia, twice. Hobbs just last year, and the State, and actually that was home too for Hobbs. So they've never faced Los Lunas in Los Lunas, so it'll be interesting to see. But it'll also be interesting to see if we can keep this camaraderie going together with all the Hobbs Eagles, plus the fact that we've got Triviantes back. That'll help as well. He didn't do a whole lot tonight, but you know what? I didn't expect him to. It's his first night back. He's going to get his legs underneath him again. And then in Los Lunas and maybe even in Cleveland, maybe we'll see some real good numbers from him. Who knows? But definitely get some teamwork out of him. That's for certain.
And Los Lunas, by the way, I didn't mention this before, but 12-2 record at this point in time. So they are definitely a team to be reckoned with. Definitely going to be one of those probably a major deep in the schedule type tournament team. Just checking to see their losses this year. The only losses they had were Albuquerque High, lost in overtime by 3 in that one. That was a home game for them. And they also lost to a team out of Phoenix, Arizona Central High School, lost by 1. So the 2 games they have combined 3-point loss on those 2 so far. So that's going to be it here from Las Cruces as your Hobbs Eagles get the 9-7 record, 69-64 over the Bulldawgs. Again, coming up Friday night, Los Lunas on the road, 6:45 pregame, tip-off at 7, and then, of course, Cleveland on Saturday. We'll get you a preview for that as we get back with you. I'd like to say thanks to Tiffany Stuber back at the station. And before we take off here, Ty, Brendan, Ron Gunner, we're going to get you some sponsors. The people that get this game on the radio and on the internet, the ones that do it for, make sure you get it for free, are these people right here.
And a big thank you to the following: Lee County State Bank, Thriftway, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Robinson Associates, Devon Energy, First American Bank, Eunice Pump and Supply, along with Lasco Construction, and NMR Pipeline. Thank you very much for everyone who is sponsoring.
And before we take off, we had a girls' score in the fourth quarter, Ron.
Yeah, exactly. That was the final, and it came down, but nowhere near the wire as it did here. 77-55, Hobbs blows Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs away, and that was exactly what we expected.
22-point win for the Lady Eagles. Congrats to them. 69-64 winner for the Hobbs Eagle boys tonight. Thanks for joining in, and we will see you Friday night on the road in Los Lunas. Have a good one.